and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Howdy folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
Joined
Bob.
today by Napoleon again.
You better believe
Bone
it.
apart.
Bone
that
apart.
joke never gets old, does it? All right, Brad, today we want to talk about shoulder pain and impingement. And the best self-assessment starts here, right?
Yeah. Exactly, Bob. We've got a lot of videos on how to help your shoulder get healthy, but I think this is another one of those pieces that can really help you find out if you really are progressing. Because sometimes, you know, you've had it yourself in the clinic, you work with someone and they'll come in a week later and they say, it still hurts, I don't know if I'm getting any better. And they forgot that the first day they were lifting it to here.
Right.
And then they come in and they're all the way up to here, but because it was a slow progress, they don't notice it day to day.
Exactly.
And that's why we take measurements and then we can find out for sure.
It's like grass growing. You just don't see it on a day-to-day basis, but
this
in
is
a week.
yeah, exactly. This is another one of those situations where we're going to have some PTs maybe a little upset us because we're taking business from them. Because after you see this video, by the end of it, you're going to know some of our secrets as PTs.
We care about you more than we care about other PTs. So, all right, Brad, let's get started on this.
All right. Huh? So, you know, while we're getting set here with this, there are some people that have not seen our show yet.
If you're new to our channel, God bless you for finding us. But today we'd like to have you take a second and subscribe to us. We got a button over here on your right side.
Over here.
And we provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day.
Exactly. Okay.
All right.
So shoulder pain, shoulder impingement. Get your piece of paper out. You'll never go to a therapist that does not jot down notes. Unless they got a miracle memory.
Skeleton wrong.
Oh, they can't read that anyways, Bob.
All right.
It's too small words.
All right.
Okay, skeleton there. Bob's keeping up on my English.
Okay.
So get your piece of paper out. And the first thing we want to do actually is, let's review shoulder pain first. One of the most common things with shoulder pain is impingement.
Right. I would say impingement is involved in, if I'm just talking about the patients I see, probably 80% of the cases. It may not be reason we're even seeing them at that time, but it's the result of the impingement, what happened.
So when we're talking about impingement, something is getting pinched.
Right.
And there's a tendon and other tissues up in here between the acromion, this bone right here, you got a good close up there, Lonnie, this bone here, and then the head of the humerus. And here, this represents the tendon. Now look what happens when we go up.
It gets pinched.
Oh, and that pinches. And if that happens, maybe it's even a moderate pinch, but a moderate pinch with a lot of repetitions can fray the tendon, start to cause problems.
Looks like a frayed rope after a while.
Right. You know. And sometimes there can get to be bone spurs developing on here over time, which even acts like a hacksaw blade and even makes that process even faster and more painful.
So eventually what can happen if you let it continue to fray is it can cut through and you can get a partial tear or a complete tear of the tendon. Right. And that's where you hear the term rotator cuff tear. Right. That's what has happened.
And this is one of those things where you say, well, how did my shoulder even get injured? It happened, you know, just kind of gradually got worse, but I don't understand. This can explain that.
Right.
Okay. So keep that information in mind. Get your piece of paper out. Write down the date of onset. If there was one, if you fell or whatever, when you noticed it, but it may not be. It may be a gradual onset, and then there wouldn't be a date. And then, this is important, pain diagram.
Yeah, you may not be able to read this stuff, but this is what we want you to see.
Exactly. Can I see the red one, Bob? Okay, so here, I'm an artist, as you can tell. I got my body here. And you should make note whether it's the front or the back. Okay? Right. If this is the back side and you're showing pain here, that's a little red flag to a therapist. I'm thinking already, I don't know if this is shoulder problem or maybe it's from the neck.
Right.
And we'll show you later a simple screen how to figure out if it's from the neck or not. If this is the front side, and here we got the eyes here and a frown face because of pain is going on. And you pain here, maybe here, and it's running down the shoulder a little bit. Then I'm thinking, this looks like a pretty typical rotator cuff problem.
Now I'm thinking shoulder,
Once in a while, if it's really bad, pain will go down to the hand. And if you're having that pain, certainly draw it in.
Right.
Okay?
Or if there's tingling.
Right.
If there's tingling, put another mark there and write down tingling.
Exactly.
Tingle.
And usually, like therapists, we write sloppy, and so that's just kind of our trademarks. But note what's going on the day that you decide to go after this and make it and fix it. And then you can put the pain intensity. Is it a 10 over 10, which means you're screaming and yelling? Is it just bothering you a little bit? 2 over 10?
0, there's no pain. 10, we always say you have to go to the emergency room. It's so bad.
Exactly.
So, middle of the road would be the 5.
Right.
So,
and if you're doing this, you probably are a 5 or above. Otherwise, you'd probably just let it go and get on with your life.
It's good to know this, though, because, again, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, you may not realize that it's gone down to a 4 or a 3, and you may think it's the exact same when it really has improved.
Right, exactly. The next thing, this is really important right here. Put down worse and put down better, and then write down a list.
What's making it worse?
What makes it worse? Some common ones are, cannot comb my hair, okay? Reaching up into the cupboard hurts.
Reach into the back seat, which you're not supposed to do anyway on a car, or you can't unhook your bra.
Right.
If you're
tucking your shirt in, getting your wallet out of your pocket. Any of those things, write them down that consistently hurt. And then write down things that make it feel better. Oftentimes people that have shoulder pain, they say if I hold it right here across my stomach, it gives it relief. Okay?
Exactly.
Another one, just leaving it hang by the side and not using it.
A lot of times keeping it supported on something is also good. I mean, I know that makes, that's two different things, but some people like it supported. And also, a lot of times making it worse is laying on it at night.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, we never want you to do.
Yeah, you want to make your shoulder pain worse, sleep on it for a couple hours.
Right.
You'll wake up knowing you did that.
Not shocking.
So, and then this is a real simple thing. It's like going to the doctor and say, what do I do? My shoulder hurts when I do this. And the doctor says, well, don't reach into the cupboard anymore.
Right.
Avoid the things that make it worse. Do the things that make it better. So if holding it here makes it better, you might want to get a sling if it's that serious. So you get a chance to rest it. Not to have it on all the time, but when it's getting painful and it feels good, you need to give it a break. Plus, you can get some stuff done if you need to walk.
Inflammation, arthritis, all these things are a funny thing. It tends to flare up, and then it tends to calm down.
Right.
So if you can get it to calm down, you're buying yourself some time. And then you can go do some things to help it keep it from coming back.
Great. And now this is the next important thing to do, is measure your range of motion. Now, you're not a therapist, you don't have a goniometer, but there's some real simple ways that accurately measure your functional range. So the first thing is for flexion. Functionally, flexion is
just straight forward up like this,
right.
thumb up.
But what I want you to write down is, number one, can you touch your nose? If you can touch your nose, you're flexing your shoulder a little bit. And if you got a sore shoulder, a real sore shoulder, some people, you can't do that. The next one, or can you go to your ear? That's a little higher with the shoulder. The next one is behind your head. This is real common. People cannot groom their hair. And if that goes, then you're going to jot this down. I can reach behind my head, and that's as far. The next one would be, can you reach to the bottom of your neck, right here? Okay. Bob, why don't you stand up and turn around? And if you're going for high level, like you're a baseball pitcher, you can probably touch your nose and up to here, but you can't throw a ball if you're not able to reach way down here. So, Bob, we'll come back up again. Let's say you can go to C7. As a therapist, we say C7. You may not know that, so what you're going to do is, I'm just going to put a piece of tape there, okay? And if you can go further down, Bob, reach as far as you can go down, and then I'm going to put a piece of tape there. And what I'll do is I'll compare the good to the bad. Let's say this is a good shoulder. He reached to there was good, and it's bad, and he only can reach there. I'll measure that difference and say 4 inches difference. However you want to do it, just so you know where you were reaching.
So you got to have somebody with you to help you with this.
On that part, yeah. Once you get to the back of your neck, or you can just reach back and jot it down. I can reach just below my shoulder blade. Okay. Now, the other range of motion that's really critical is reaching behind your back. There you go. Thumb? So Bob can reach up to there with his good shoulder. I'm going to put a piece of tape there to mark it. Now, if he's got a real sore shoulder,
you might be down here.
You may not even get to that point. You sometimes have people that get right to there, and then you're going to say, like if it gets to here, I'll say to the center belt line, and then go up a little bit. Let's say he can get up to there. Now, you don't have to put a piece of tape there, but I'm going to just so you can see the difference. We need to get this much closer to this, and once it gets up here, it'll be feeling healthier. You might just say 2 inches above the belt line and jot that down. Then you at least know where your range is when you started.
Right.
Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to our video site and look up some shoulder treatment exercises.
And I'll put a link towards this at the, well, we're coming up here towards the end here. I'll put a playlist of shoulder impingement exercises and videos that we have.
Oftentimes, the rotator cuff exercises you can do with the Thera-Band. You can do these at home. You may need a stretch band or go get some Thera-Band. And then do the exercises. You may have a cold pack. You might be doing things that make it feel better. And then in a week later, come back to this.
And see how you're actually really doing. And if you're improving, that's a great sign, and don't be discouraged that it's not gone yet, because it took you a long time to develop this problem.
Right.
It could take you a long time to get rid of it.
Because we all want to end up with this. We want to have a happy face here, no shoulder pain, we'll get rid of this. And it's going to happen. Just take your time.
One last thing, Brad.
Okay.
We can fix just about anything. Except for a broken heart.
That broken heart, yeah. But here, I think I can get it with this. Here, there we go.
No, he can't.
Put an artery in there.
He thinks he can, but he can't. All right. Thanks for watching.